This presentation is brought to you by the Jefferson Parish Diversity and Inclusion Board. And you have all the board members raise your hands. These folks brought to you this wonderful morning. This board has been in place since 2009. It is to celebrate the wonderful cultures and all of our differences and inclusion in Jefferson Parish government. We are a very, very diverse workforce. We represent the community that we live in. We're excited about that. And we're going to really program this year to highlight all of the wonderful and unique backgrounds that we all have. And February is Black History Month. So what an incredible honor to have the Zulu Tramps here with us joining on this. So we want to encourage all employees. You know, we have big ambitions for this board this year, and we want to take this board to the next level. January, we did a video series. February, to have you all join us for Black History Month. What an incredible honor. This is about education. This is about celebration of cultures, something we're very, very excited about. So I want to acknowledge we have council members joining us here today. I know Councilwoman Van Rankin is here, as well as Councilman Scott Walker. Did you want to say something?
What are y'all doing Tuesday? Anything? I wish we were all doing something Tuesday. I know this has been a very different year, and it continues, or last year was a very different year. 2021 continues to be different, but we're on the right track, and things like this are wonderful. Thank you all for doing this and for making it feel like there's something going on when there should be a lot of things going on this time of year. And we get through this one that's a little bit abnormal, and I think next year will be a super celebration, and it'll be very, very normal by our standards again. But thank you all again for doing this. And thank you all, too. Awesome.
I feel so under-costumed right now. I have to go get my Mardi Gras mask. I just want to say a shout out to the Diversity Board, because I know every month y'all are putting things in our elevators. I love sitting in the elevator and reading what we're highlighting that month. And so for all that you do and the diversity awareness that you bring to the richness of Jefferson Parish, I just am very appreciative. And I can't think of a better way to celebrate Carnival this year than with you all. So thank you.
So we're really excited to kick off this year. We had grand plans last year for this diversity board, which encouraged bringing a lot of people together. And of course, with many things that got to the back burner with us fighting COVID. So we did not want to miss the opportunity. So we had a meeting early in January, and we're not missing the opportunity for this year. So you can see we're starting the year off strong. We want to encourage all of our employees to consider joining this board. It's going to be a very fun year for us. You have the spirit and the passion here representing all the employees in Jefferson Parish and all the diversity and inclusion that we hold dear. So with that, I want to introduce our fearless leader with the Diversity and Inclusion Board. We know how passionate she is, and she really inspires a lot of us to do this. So Aileen Bernard. Come on.
The Diversity and Inclusion Board strives to ensure that this human respect is realized. We're all equal as human beings. We need to realize that. Treat each other as so. And ensure that our family here in Jefferson Parish, we feel valued, we feel seen, we feel appreciated. That's all we really want. We strive to reach all 3,000 of our employee family and beyond. We strive to help, serve, and advise in an absolute best and fair way possible. The board was established to foster an environment where there is a deliberate focus on acceptance, education, and inclusion of diversity within Jefferson Parish as a whole. We must listen and emphasize, because with kindness, we can find solutions. As we know, February is Black History Month, a time to celebrate the central role of African Americans in the United States history. Their fight for equality motivates us to continue working towards a more positive and inclusive parish. The Jefferson Parish Diversity and Inclusion Board the Jefferson Parish Diversity and Inclusion Board decided it was fitting to honor Black History Month with a special presentation and a performance from the Zulu Tramps of the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. It is now my honor to introduce Thomas Hollywood Pierce, representing the Zulu Tramps of the Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club, here to share more about their rich history and their organization. Thank you.
I'm going to share a little bit about Zulu. First of all, we're glad to be here. President Cynthia Sheng, and the esteemed council members, we're glad to be here. We're glad you're included Zulu in your Jefferson Parish Diversity and Inclusion program. You know, Zulu is very, very important to our fabric, the fabric of New Orleans area. It started back in 1909. A group of laborers went to see a play at the Pythian Theater downtown. And the play basically was a story, and it was basically a musical. And the theme was, there was a song in it that there never was and never will be a king like me. And from that point in time, those men left, and they went to a building nearby, 1100 block of Perdido, and they basically formed their organization. The group was called the Tramps, and that was the forerunner of Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club. Back in those times, they were small insurance, social aid and pleasure clubs were insurance groups where African Americans bury their own through dues. And they were in different wards in the city, and the Tramps happened to be one of these social and pleasure clubs. And so out of that, they began to parade. And, you know, again, our first king, you know, wasn't lavish. He had, you know, he wore a grass skirt. He had a lard can as his crown. He had a banana stalk as his scepter. And basically, they walked through the back neighborhoods of the city of New Orleans, the African-American neighborhoods, and they started parading. And eventually, we had a king, and we, you know, and the parade, you know, got bigger and bigger, and we had floats and so forth. So what you see here is a representation of the Tramps, the original Tramps that were part of Zulu. And again, the organization incorporated in 1916, formally, with 22 members, and it's even bigger and better today. Our signature throw is the Zulu coconut, as you know. Many of our members could not afford throws during that time, so they went down to the French market and bought some coconuts, and that's what they started giving out. And over time, it became a decorated item, and it became a highly sought-out item. It's probably one of the most sought-out items during Mardi Gras. As you know, we're not parading this year. We're sad about that, but safety is important for everyone in our metro area. And so, you know, we've been doing our community service. We've been doing virtual meetings. We've been having programs. But this is our way of giving back to you. So I'm going to turn over the mic to Thomas Pierce, one of the Zulu Tramps.
Thank you. So on behalf of Zulu Social Aid and Pleasure Club, I'd like to present the parish president, Ms. Cynthia Sheng, with her very first Zulu coconut. You're welcome. And I also want to give a very special thank you to Ms. Eudonis Lewis for helping put this together. And just want to say thank you on our behalf. Happy Mardi Gras.